Hello, dear friends. So today we're doing a webinar analyzing your trades. First, I want to point out that you tend to always split your trades into right or wrong ones. What does that even mean? Most of you treat yourselves like you're messing up all the time. Like if the trade didn't bring profit, then it must have been a bad trade. But that's completely wrong. If you made the trade by the rules and it still ended up unprofitable, there's nothing to be upset about. Here's an example. This is Maxim Urakov's trade. Great daily chart, solid range, great hourly chart, awesome 5-minute chart, got 100%. Everything's fine. Maybe the ATR was just spent. Still a great trade. The range was solid. This trade could have been re-entered with a sell order. Everything looked good here, Maxim. No complaints at all. Well, it was an A plus trade, but it just didn't work out. I literally just had a call with one of my students who really struggles when it comes to losses, especially when something doesn't go the way he planned. And I know many of you feel the same, but the market isn't a place where everything always goes your way. The main task is this: find trades that fit your scenario. Write this down, it's important. The asset must fit into your scenario, not the other way around. So if you line up all the pieces, solid chart, clean level, good range, and clear entry point, and you still get a stop, that's fine. Losing trades are part of the game. They're part of your overall profit. Let's move on. What do we have here? Here's the trade. Got it. So we've got a breakout. This one's also from Ivan Ivanov. Excellent trade. Clean exit from accumulation. Very noticeable volatility drop and a beautiful hourly chart. Super solid trade. Very well done. But there's one mistake, Vanya Ivanov. Since this was a primary breakout, that's where the issue came in. What's a primary breakout? It means the level hadn't been broken out before, completely untouched. And because volatility was dropping, you could have placed your stop loss much tighter right behind the breakout bars. In a primary breakout, especially with lower volatility, your stop loss can and should be smaller. You had the room for it. Also, take a close look at how perfectly the level is drawn. I always tell you, where volume drops, those are your strongest levels. See, there's a drop in volume, and these are the strongest levels. Everyone thinks strong levels are where big volumes happen, but no, it's the opposite. Strong resistance shows up where volumes fall. This trade is excellent, 4 plus out of 5, only because the stop loss could have been a bit smaller. In primary breakouts, when the level hasn't been broken out and it's clean, you can safely go with a tighter stop loss. Okay, Igor Liak, let's go. All right, here's our daily chart, and here's the hourly one. The hourly chart looks excellent, really clean. No breakout on the hourly chart, which gives us a solid entry signal. Very good setup. Not sure why you said you were just lucky. This was a completely solid trade, a breakout of a local minimum, well thought out. On the hourly chart, there's a very strong level that hasn't been broken out. The stop loss is very clear, and there is an entry into the short zone. Great trade. The only thing is your stop loss could have been a bit smaller. Volatility was fading here, and the asset was struggling to break out. Let me zoom in. See? The asset is trying to break upward, but just can't do it. In that case, an entry with a small stop loss is totally fine. But yeah, you went a little too wide with the stop. I would have placed a smaller one. Still, both this one and the others are excellent trades, Igor. Nothing wrong here. Nothing to stress about. Solid trades. Okay, Ilya Sharapov. A trade for bosses review. Let's see. We always start with the daily chart. That's the rule. All right, good level. Yeah, solid level. Standard breakout bar. Not sure if the take profit was enough for you there, but the pullback was really nice. I always like it when the asset fails to break out on the first attempt, makes a non-deep pullback, and then goes for a secondary breakout. And looks like the take profit was hit. Excellent trade. I'll even say more. What's your name again? Ilya, honestly, I would have placed a smaller stop loss right behind the zone here. You would have gotten the profit even faster. Great trade overall, no complaints. Solid 5 out of 5. Very well done. The daily chart is clean. The hourly chart looks great. Volatility is in check and rollback is all right too. Very good trade. Well done. Okay. First of all, we always start by checking the daily chart. All right, great level here. I'm expecting volatility to fade. There's emptiness below, a failed base breakout, and a secondary breakout. Nothing to worry about. The price moved a lot, so that's completely normal. The hourly chart just didn't work out. that happens. No complaints. Who's this from? Pipix. Not sure what your real name is, but I have no issues with the trade. The trade was solid, but it just didn't play out. Not your fault. Everything was done right. Absolutely fine. Result 100. Nothing to stress about. Well done. So, daily chart. Okay. Strong level at 37.47. I agree with that. There's a range here. Local long setup. Price is above the level, and you were trying to catch a pullback back into the zone, but there was no rollback. And we'll take a closer look now. Again, a strong level at 37.47, that's fine. But for some reason, your level ended up being 37.79. And you got kicked out by stop loss. Let me explain what I didn't like here. I don't like the movement of the asset itself. These types of assets that keep moving with constant rollbacks, I'm not a fan. If an asset keeps pulling back like that, it usually means it's too heavy and doesn't offer clean moves. You want an asset that moves smoothly, passes through zones calmly, not like this. Let me show you a past example. You see, the asset shouldn't have deep pullbacks. It should just move instead. In this trade, every move is a pullback. Now, downward movement, downward movement, downward movement, downward movement. This tells me the asset's just not ready to go yet. And I honestly don't like trades like that. Not my thing. So here's the daily chart. Excellent setup, great level, clear close retest. The 5-minute chart is also spot on. Great trade, super solid. You placed the stop loss exactly where it should be, right behind the rollback bar, and that was the right call. Everything here is done well, no complaints at all. Robert Schreiner, everything is beautifully written down here. Seriously, it's just nice to look at. Well done. The checklist is really beautiful, superbly put together. Now, there wasn't any upward movement, but let me explain what you traded here. You traded the lack of impulse where it should have shown up. Can this confirmation be considered a level? Yes, for sure. There's a clear level. It just didn't go, and that's okay. Nothing to stress about. Oil's been moving slow lately anyway. But again, the way you described the trade was beautiful. I can see exactly what you were trading. You were trading the absence of the impulse at a spot where it was supposed to appear. Nothing wrong here. It's a good trade, solid and well structured. And your checklist, super clean. No complaints. Nicely done. Okay, Gleb, let's take a look. All right, all right. So you were trading an entry under 2 bars, basically a re-entry back into the level. This is GBP/JPY. Let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, you were going for a return move back into the level. Totally fine. I really like these kinds of setups. You nailed the take profit. Excellent trade. Really clean. Super solid. Very good. Good job, Gleb. Okay, Sadullah, let's take a look. All right, daily chart. Levels look fine. But let me give you one quick piece of advice. If the right side of the chart already gives you enough info, you don't need to start scrolling all the way to the left to find extra levels. If the current section looks normal and clear, that's more than enough. No need to dig deep into the right and look for these levels. See? There's enough info here. No need to scroll way right. Don't overcomplicate it. This level is enough. Once again, you don't have to go to the right looking for these levels. Also, you could have placed your stop loss a bit lower. Now, the setup itself, yeah, the picture is decent, not bad. But I'll be honest, this one is a bit tricky. You kind of got lucky with this trade. Let me explain why. The asset tried to make a downward breakout 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seriously, it's pure luck here. Let me explain why it is so. When you see the price going up and down near the level like this and struggling to enter on the first attempt, we never know which attempt will actually work or if it'll work at all. That's why I always say that it's better not to enter trades like this. And here, Sadullah, you were just lucky this time.